In this video, we're going to dive into a brief overview of all the different pieces of Under. And as a new customer, you're likely going to get started in our marketplace. Here we provide you a list of pre-built templates, really to get started quickly and learn how the system works. You can grab a contact us page, a pre-application, a full merchant processing application, banking form, lending application, etc. What you would do is pick the one that fits best for you, make a copy of that, which is going to then open up our template editor. Within our template editor, there's a couple of components. The first step is our form builder. So you can think of this as an easy way to design any form that lives on the internet. On the right-hand side of the screen, you can see an outline of what this is going to look like to your customer. Left-hand side of the screen is going to include all the fields that you can add. It's as easy as clicking create, grabbing whatever type of fields you want to add to the form, dragging it onto the form to create that element, adding labels, conditional logic, calculations, and really creating a design that works for you with the questions that are relevant to your customer and set up in a way that's going to fit for your application. All of our forms are natively integrated into a physical PDF or document. So on the next screen, you have the chance to upload any document that you want populated. Each of the fields on the document can be connected to the form. Therefore, if a customer is filling out the form, we're behind the scenes creating this document for you. We can check checkboxes, radios, multi-select lists, add electronic signatures, supporting documents, everything within a single flow. You can also design and structure the way that this form works. So you can set up the appearance, you can upload the logo of your business, you can set up the style, the typography, the size of the form, etc. And do that to create your first application as you get started here with Under. Once you've done that, there's a couple of ways to get this to a customer. Each one of our forms will have a unique URL link, and this can be emailed or shared with a customer that will take them directly to the application to apply. This can also easily be embedded on your website just by grabbing the script, pasting it behind an Apply Now button or some type of marketing collateral. Or you can actually create a customer into our CRM, start to fill out some or potentially all of the application before sharing that with your client, and then helping reducing the keystrokes or the amount of information that they need to submit. Once this gets to the customer in any one of those ways, they're going to land on a form that looks similar to this. Or if this is embedded, your website's going to be behind the screen. The customer has the ability to go in here and enter their information. We enter a series of identity checks that are available as a part of the process. The first one that's going to display here is our multi-factor authentication, which just shot a text message to my phone or essentially your customer's phone. The benefit of this is it allows us to save the data on the form so the customer can come back at any time in the future and they can stay or come back where they left off. You're also storing this information. So if a customer abandons, you're going to be able to get that data without requiring them to complete the application. The customer will go through this process, whether they're on a desktop or mobile. These are all mobile optimized phones, easy to fill out in that process, and they'll answer the questions or validate the information that you've already entered. We have additional checks that help to validate identity, such as our integration with Plaid for banking integration. Customer has the ability to connect right here with their bank account. They would choose which bank that they have, log in, and by doing so, they could potentially avoid uploading a voided check. You can get an understanding of their bank balance, transaction history, and have a highly secure way of validating the information on the account. Alternatively, you can always use the traditional way that you're going to be uploading bank information, asking them these questions here on the form. As we showed you in the template editor, we have the ability to connect these forms to our documents. So we just asked our customer a series of questions. We've automatically, behind the scenes, created this merchant processing application, took all the data, filled it into the fields it needed to go, checked the appropriate boxes, structured the form so now they can, in one experience, get ready to sign their document. I'm already an Under user, so I'm just clicking to add my signature, but if this is my first time using Under, a draw pad would show up here. I could sign or I could type my name, and then I'd be able to append it to all the different locations that are required on the document. This is done again in a single flow without having to go back to an email and authenticate the user a second time. After I've signed, we have the ability to attach supporting documents. If you're on a mobile phone, this would just pull up your camera feed to drop a document in. If you're on your desktop, you can either drag a file or you can click this to upload a file from your computer, and it will store all of that in a single process. So once you've gone through and completed this, what happens is it creates a customer record in Under, and this is the one that we're looking at today. Our customer record gives you all the data that was entered by the customer, and everything here is editable. So for example, if your team reviews this and notices that the social security number is not 123 they could just click on this cell, they could call the customer or update it to the appropriate number, hit save, and then immediately trigger out an updated signature with a corrected PDF to go to the client if that's a part of the process. In addition to storing the data, we also will store the documents for you. So if we switch over to the documents section, you can see a fully completed application with all of the signatures. We include an e-signature confirmation form. We also will include any of the supporting documents that they might have uploaded as part of that process, and those are all centralized here. They could be downloaded or exported. Finally, we get to our series of integrations. So on the first card, we did a multi-factor authentication with Twilio. This is validating that the user has a live cell phone. It will also cross-reference the user information on the phone and check that they were approved for that. We use Plaid, as mentioned, to do an overview of the bank. So this is an example of what that response could look like. We'll do an identity verification on the actual owner of the bank account, how much money is in the bank, routing number, checking number, and 6 months transaction history. We do a location-based search that shows where the user was when they filled out this form in the United States. We orchestrate a full KYC using ID Analytics, Ekata, Idology, LexisNexis, and take those together in a workflow to create a comprehensive look of essentially who is this person and are they who they say they are. We'll give you confirmation of the details, reason code responses, and then our recommendation on how you might take the next steps. We also do a very thorough KYB. This will check the business, tax ID, address, website. We'll do a litigation check, bankruptcy check, OFAC, as well as 13 other watch lists that we're looking through. We show locations of where the business is. In this instance, we looked up Target Corporation. So this is where all of those exist in the US. And then we're also doing a thorough deep dive of the people involved, as well as checking for watch lists on those individuals, as well as a website scan and formation search. Finally, at the end of this process, if you need to push this to your CRM, you just click a button and you can push this out to any one of our natively integrated CRMs or third-party services from there.